All right, so we are on our bacb.com website, and you have a variety of options here. You're going to go to Obtain a Credential. Click that link. Good. And it's going to say Become Credentialed, and it gives you a variety of different credentials here. And we are going to specifically choose our Registered Behavioral Technician. So go ahead and click that link. And it should pop up the Registered Behavioral Technician page. All right, so you can read through this on your own time. It tells you a little bit about the credentialing process, the ethics and discipline, and then it gets into the supervision requirements. So let's read through that together because it's very important that you have the appropriate form of supervision as you go through the credentialing process, because when you're finished, you have to have a supervisor sign off that you did complete the coursework and that you are able to implement all of the skills and training that we went over across the course sequence. So it says the RBT will have at least one responsible certificant who is publicly listed in the RBT registry. This certificate is responsible for ensuring the RBT is working under the supervision of a BCBA certificant. So we as BCBAs, if we're providing this course, we went through a training process ourselves in order to be certified to give you this course sequence. So you have to make sure that if for some reason you need to stop taking this course and you need to start with another supervisor, that they are a registered certificate, and you can find them on the RBT registry. All right, so going forward, let's go down a little bit, talk a little bit about obtaining the RBT credential further. Applicants must be 18 years of age. You have to have a minimum of a high school diploma and complete 40 hours of training that is specified to the task list. You also have to complete a criminal background check, pass the Rbt Competency Assessment, and pass the RBT exam. Now, the Rbt Competency Assessment is something that you will take at the end of our 40-hour course sequence. When you complete the 40 hours, you'll be provided a test. This is not a standardized test. This is something that's individual to the proctor or the supervisor who's teaching the 40-hour course sequence. So there are going to be things on that test that are going to be specific to the videos that you're watching across this training to ensure that you really are comprehending and following all of the teaching materials provided. Once you take that competency assessment, I will provide you, or another supervisor will provide you, with a 40-hour completion checkoff sheet. It's basically like a certificate that says, yes, you passed the 40-hour coursework and the exam, and you are qualified to be able to take the RBT exam. The RBT exam is going to be found, again, on this BACB website. You're going to have to log on after this 40-hour course sequence independently and supply them with a variety of information. And we'll follow up at the end of our 40-hour course sequence on exactly what those steps are so that you're prepared for that process afterwards. Then it says maintaining an RBT credential. RBTs are required annually to pass the Rbt Competency Assessment. Complete a renewal, receive ongoing supervision, and comply with the BCBA's ethics requirements relevant to RBTs. So if you want more information, there's another link there that you can click. But in brief summary, each year you're going to have to complete an RBT assessment online, okay? It's quick, it's easy, no big deal, but it just shows that you're maintaining all of the knowledge that was initially taught to you in that 40-hour course sequence. Okay, because if you're a BCBA like myself, then you actually have to get a certain number of CEUs every year, okay? Which are basically we attend conferences, we read certain journal articles. There are different ways that we can acquire those, but it shows that we're maintaining our knowledge and we're staying up to date when it comes to relevant BCBA standards and research that's out there. And then every few years, we have to submit our own sort of packet to the BCBA to maintain our credential as well. And then another part of this, which is very important, we talked about before, that you need to receive ongoing supervision. And so let's talk a little bit more about what that looks like, because it is going to be a complex process. So you can go back up to the top. We're going to go to Home. We're going to go to Maintaining a Credential. There we go. Okay, so again, you're going to click the RBT specific link. Maintaining your credential. The primary RBT maintenance requirement is to satisfactorily complete the 12-task directed observation Rbt Competency Assessment. The rationale for this requirement is that since the RBT is frontline worker who implements behavioral analysis procedures, annual demonstration of satisfactory implementation of the 12 tasks in a precise and timely manner is of utmost importance to ongoing success of behavior plan. So we had already talked about that. That's where you kind of show that you're maintaining all of that information that you've gained. Okay? Going forward, you also have to complete the competency assessment, which we talked about. Submit completed renewal applications on the required schedule via the RBT renewal application. So I'm not sure if it's a yearly or bi-yearly, but we'll get into that more at the end of the training again. And you need to have a responsible certificate on record with the BACB. And you need to have appropriate amounts of supervision, which is outlined a little bit further below here. There we go. It talks a little bit about the fee structure. So supervision. The purpose of supervision is to improve and maintain the behavioral, analytic, professional, and ethical repertoires of the RBT and facilitate the delivery of highly qualified services to his or her clients. Effective behavioral analytic services include, it gives you a variety of things, basically developing performance expectations, observing behavioral intervention skills, modeling technical, professional, ethical behavior, and the list goes on. And obviously we'll cover all of these things in our RBT training. But most importantly, let's talk about the hours that you need to be supervised in order to maintain your credential. So each RBT must maintain ongoing supervision for a minimum of 5% of the hours spent providing behavioral analytics services per month. Okay, so you can kind of break that down in your mind. If you're working 20 hours per week in a behavioral analytics service environment, then what percentage of that time do you actually need to be supervised? So as we go forward, some of those hours might change, some might increase, some might decrease, and it is your responsibility to log those hours yourself and communicate with your supervisor how many hours you need for supervision that month. Supervision must include at least 2 face-to-face synchronous contacts per month, during at least one of which the supervisor observes the RBT providing services. So again, this is an important part, okay? So not all of our meetings have to be in person. We can do them via a computer or video chat, something like that. But at least one of those meetings, you need to supply direct observation of you working in some behavioral analytic format. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that your supervisor has to see you doing it in person, but they need to see you doing it somehow. So you could provide them with a video of you providing those services, and that could be adequate to meet that, that piece. All right, so I'll let you go on. You can have supervision in small group formats, whole group formats, individual. But if you have any other questions, this gives you a lot of detail to refer back to. All right. So, like we said again, at the end of our training in the 40 hours, we'll wrap up by reviewing this all and going over the credentialing process, especially those steps that you need to take thereafter you have completed the 40-hour training to get your credential and maintain it.